How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Shaun Attwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. This is the one and only Beverly Rhodes, and tonight we're diving into the Epstein files and everything that took place at the Grammys with Nicki Minaj and her calling individuals out, calling out the Democrats, mentioning satanic cults, calling out JAYZ, and we're going to dive into those tweets, and then we're going to just take a little trip through, Beverly Rhodes' reaction to the Epstein files and what's been coming out, and take some of your guys' point from the side chat. I would like to apologize. I'm on hour 14 of in front of the PC, so I will be upgrading to the thickest possible eye protection because I've got a very bad eye and it can lead to a lot of pain and it starts going all crazy and it's not good. But Beverly, how you doing? How are you? It's been a while.
I'm fine. How are you doing? You've been looking at that screen for too long. 14 hours. Yeah. Whoa, it's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long. And sometimes I'll have to do this and literally turn the lights off or turn the light on. Sorry. So anyway, carry on, Beverly. Tell us how you're doing and what you've been up to.
Yes, busy preparing to go to America. We're going to be doing a vampire hunt in I think the area is one of the main streets in New Orleans. So that's going to be fun. Awesome. Yeah. And then just doing some traveling around. So that'll be good.
Absolutely. And listen, a lot more about what you're going to be up to later on. Your link is in the description. Make sure everyone goes and subscribes. But we're going to jump into this because Nicki Minaj is on one. So rapper Nicki Minaj spent the Grammy night unleashing on JAYZ and a satanic cult she suggested was sacrificing children. Does that sound familiar to you, Miss Beverly Rhodes? I mean, it's
very familiar. Absolutely very familiar. Yeah. I'm glad she's calling it out. I guess she's had enough.
Well, I think it's interesting because here's one of the images. Okay. And I wonder if she's got, a little bit of bravery from, perhaps being given the nudge to go ahead with this. So, but look, let's dive into this. Okay, satanic cult she suggested was sacrificing children in a wild Sunday evening tirade. Minaj, who has made headlines in recent days with her outspoken support for President Donald Trump, began by boosting a post suggesting that JAYZ had been predatory towards teenage girls. And I'm going to just bring this up here. So this is one of the posts here, true or false. We've got Chucky here. And then we have JAYZ dated Foxy Brown when she was 15 and took her V word. He was 23. JAYZ was going out with Alia when she was 15, 16, 17, and he was 26, 27, 28. JAYZ met Beyonce at 16 and started dating her when she was 18 and 19, and he was 30. JAYZ signed Rihanna at 16, she said in an interview. And I mean, let me just get to the tweet. Here's all the photographs. Girl came with receipts.
Yeah, she did.
So let's just cut back to this article. She went on to share a pair of pictures from the music mogul with Aliyah and his current wife Beyonce Knowles to back her allegations, which were accompanied by the following caption: "Are y'all understanding? All these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power. If you ever vote Democrat again, you are just as soulless as they are and will perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story time since I was trying not to say what I know. Yet they continue to attempt bullying. Also, I won't be releasing an album until my contract is renegotiated and until I tell you about all the sabotage this Rico is finding out about Billboard." So, yeah, I mean, she's laying in hard. And it's interesting because we often said that it's only going to take for one real big star to come forward and blow the lid off this. And I wonder if we'll see a domino effect with it all. So keep your eyes open for that, because I think this could be something. Or, sudden death by food poisoning. Okay? Do you know what I mean? It'll be one of those crazy moments. What do you think so far? I mean, it's wild, right?
I think that, JAYZ had a bit of a hard ride with the Diddy person, and he just basically scraped through with that. His energies were all over the place. But now we've got this happening. I don't see that he's going to be able to come back from that too easily and too quickly.
Yeah, I don't think either. And I think with the fact that he made the move to the UK, bought a house in the UK after the Diddy shenanigans, and we'll see where he is after we get through this article, Miss Rhodes, because I wonder where he is now. Okay.
Well, nobody seems to know where he is. He seems to have hopped it. He seems to have absconded and gone somewhere. Nobody has any clue where he is right now.
Interesting.
I wonder why.
Because he's so innocent. That's why. He's so innocent. Okay. Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and unalive them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up, she added in a subsequent. Okay, I mean, this isn't like subtle references, Bev. This is...
No, she's calling it out. Yeah, she's calling it out. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Yep. And you never know what might come out, because there's a lot more to this story that she's not telling. A lot more.
Yeah.
So let's hope she tells the story. I really hope she does, because somebody's got to open their mouth somewhere.
You see, I hope this was a well thought out plan by Nicki and wasn't done on a whim. And she understands that they're going to be coming to nip this in the bud.
Of course they will. And I should probably have a cease and desist slapped on her as soon as she could, as soon as she opens up the next morning. Because that's the kind of thing that JAYZ and JAYZ's lawyers do, is they will say, you've got to stop this. Otherwise, we'll put a defamatory suit.
Okay. So can someone correct me if I'm wrong in the side chat? If they were to do that, that would give them the right to take her to court, right?
Yeah.
But then she would then be able to present all her evidence in court.
She would, yes. Yeah, she would.
And then it would become public record, right? So that's the thing that no one can understand why it's not happening. Right? When you have the finger pointed at you and you're got hundreds of millions and do nothing about it, to me, that raises the question of what don't you want in the public domain? Because it's smart to believe that people like Nicki Minaj, if they had hardcore evidence, they would want to see if they could play it out in a legal suit, because it'd be safer, right?
Oh yeah, it would be.
Sorry, I don't think Nicki is innocent either. How about we leave that question for another night, because we can also assume that people could come to the end of their tether with what they're willing to put up with. Do you see what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, you do get to, when you stuck in all that nonsense, it's like one day becomes, that's it. There's a line in the sand and you decide, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Hell no, forget it. And that's it. And there's like something that breaks and you just decide, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care who goes down. I don't care if I get hurt. That's it. It's enough is enough. And she could have just got to that point. It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. Should I do a daily story time about who's been doing what? 227,000 votes. Yes, indeed.
Oh, well, that'd be good if she does.
I mean, it's quite amazing. And again, if she comes forward, I just want to see what the snowball effect is, because, it's a different world than we live in. And there's a lot more to lose when you have a lot more to lose, obviously. And it only takes one person. It really does.
Yeah, very true.
They sabotaged my documentary because I spoke about abuse that I suffered. They've been trying to stall all my projects in hopes I'd lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. Their leaders still think it's a joke. The destruction that's about to come down on them isn't funny. Let me just go to the main tweet. By the way, it's funny. I told y'all to leave me alone. Now you'll understand why you should have just sat there and taken your meds. And I mean, if she's putting this Chucky doll up here as like a reference to what she's capable of in this scenario, because it's been referenced here a couple of times, like Chucky the killer doll, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, there's a lot of layers to that. This is wild. This is really wild. because I wanted to save reading all of this for the show. You know what I mean? To give a proper reaction to what was going on. And I did not imagine this. Imagine if a 30-year-old rapper was out there with a 16-year-old in this day and age, and how you would have his head on a platter. This guy was hanging and humping on teens in broad daylight. Next, I'll get the owner of the shade room and more. Maybe I should discuss the brainwashing techniques they use. Damn. Oh, this is massive. Like, this is massive. Like and share this, guys, if you can, please, because I never realized she was going into this level, and this is unheard of. What the F, child predator? Yeah, it's. Do you know what's weird? You kind of become conditioned when you're looking at something like this you forget, because this is obviously in a club or whatever, and your brain automatically assumes everyone's of age in a scenario like that, unless you're a fan of whoever this artist is, underage at the time, obviously. It's kind of twisted because it is right in our faces.
Yeah. In plain sight, best way to hide everything is put it in plain sight, because nobody will believe it.
I mean, this ain't happening in 2026. I'll tell you that right now. Could you actually imagine a 15-year-old girl in a scenario like this with someone almost double her age? It would be called out so fast. Here's another post. Any Christian who votes Democrat, again, is a fool. They're showing people that it's okay to disrupt church during worship. This is how they truly feel about you. The veil is lifted, no morals, no integrity. It's not enough for them to have an opinion. They've escalated to physical. One moment, I do apologize. Physical intrusion of places of worship. The demons inside of them are so bothered all of the time. Now, I have come to the conclusion, Miss Beverly Rhodes, that not everyone can be possessed by a demon. All right, you as an individual, a human, are capable. You're the only creature on this planet capable of manifesting evil, and that has to come through your own free will. And when they talk about morals and normal human understanding of all of this, do you think that we're in a place globally ready to take on the magnitude of what all of this could mean?
No, I don't think we're ready, but I think that the powers that be, particularly the level of light that's being shone down now, because we've had a huge solar flare, the biggest solar flare in the last 20 years. So, and that is making people, they feel jumpy, they're tired. There's lots of unusual vibrations and frequencies happening. Dogs and cats are reacting to these things, and people who have got, who've got dodgy tickers and hearts, they are feeling the solar flare. It's a big one. So yeah, I think that is going to create so much light that all these dodgy things are going to come right up to the surface.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because Christians that come on the channel, they talk a lot about light, and all of the people that are part of our side chat that follow that particular individual talk about light. And it's interesting because obviously Nicki Minaj talks about Christianity here. It's interesting to think that on a level of energy and control, which is what these people want, to think that something like a solar flare could almost be like the universe fighting back and pushing through individuals like this or giving them strength. I know it sounds out there and a bit floofy, everyone, but honestly, after talking to Dr. Baker about certain things about weather control and seeding and how we are basically electric and how they want to control us all, nothing's out of the question. Also, this killer doll thing is right on point. She's obviously using this to reference herself, considering herself a doll and now a killer doll. I feel it. I'm on with it. Everyone knows Chrissy. Oh, look, if she's calling out Chrissy Teigen, okay, I will do in the next Epstein show that I do, I'll do a Chrissy Teigen recap of all the screenshots from back in the day of her making comments about little kids, like what she would. It's outrageous. You need to see it. And again, looking at it through the lens of 2026 in the midst of the Epstein files, it's going to change a lot of people's minds and a lot of individuals. I think it really is. It's wild. Here's more. As they do their ritual tonight, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them, she concluded. God will not be mocked. Blessed is his mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned and put to shame. Watch. Now, before anyone's like, oh, Christians again, right? You're free to do this too if you're from another religion. You're free to become a #1 selling artist and then put your entire career on the line and say this stuff when you get to an award ceremony. Okay, just in case anyone starts getting all uppity. Okay, so it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. And what do you guys think in the side chat? Because I want to hear from you. Like, I want to hear your points. So get commenting now. What's your reaction to all this, Bev?
I think that Nicki has, from what I can see, reading through the lines, I think that she's done what we would call like a call out command, where you say to the person, I command you in the name of Jesus Christ to show yourself. And that is a command. It's a direct command to whatever horrible thing is sliding around with you. Because you've used a sacred name and you're commanding it to show themselves, it has to show itself. So she has, in some way, she has actually done that. Because if you look at that second lot where she says, where she calls on the Christ consciousness and the Christ energy, and it will fail, I think she's actually commanded. If you see what she says there, in the name, mighty name of Jesus Christ, that's a command. And it's a command that the demons know. If you use Mr. Sandals, Jesus Christ, if you use his powerful name, that's it. They have to come out, because they're lowly beings and they have to come out and they have to show themselves. I think she's commanded whatever's walking with JAYZ.
Yeah.
She's commanded that whatever it is,
yeah,
commanded that to come out and show itself. And I think that that's what's happening.
I wanted to actually great segue without even realizing this is what I wanted to touch on, because we often talk about the evil sorceresses of Hollywood, and people, understand well, at least our listeners understand the rituals and all of the things that are tied to that. But we never really talk about the possibility of the people from the other team, right? And the possibility that, exactly what you said, they're calling forth the name. She said that she had knowledge of a ritual happening tonight, so I believe her. And how mad would it be, right, if, bam, the next prophet for the Christian religion right here, Nicki Minaj, right? If Nicki completely knocks the house of cards down, because no one's been able to do that. Okay. And it'd just be wild if it was Nicki Minaj. It really, really would. I see something bigger happening from this, or I see a tragic accident happening from this, and no middle ground. It's not going to go away. No one's going to be interviewing Nicki Minaj and not talking about this.
Of course. Yeah.
And she'll have every option in the world, from news outlets that aren't controlled, TV shows that aren't controlled, and every new media outlet in the world will be in her inbox right now. Are we possibly looking at a woman who knows a lot because of what she went through and has witnessed it all, and is, even if she is at fault or has blood on her hands, it's, worth her coming forward and putting it all out there regardless, right? Because this is the time.
I think it is. And by the way that she speaks, I think, even if she was maybe not so innocent early on, it looks to me like she is someone that has taken on a faith, and she's using that faith now as part of her sword of truth, so that she could go and slay those that need to be slain, because she's actually been saved. And if that is the case, then yes, then pick up that sword, my girl, and go and get these awful people out into the open. And I think that that's what she's doing.
Now, just to back up the holy warrior, show me the data results, right? How's this for some data results? You can't see it because of my circle head, but look at this. Jay-Z reportedly leaves the USA after Epstein files mention and Beyonce suffers 10 million follower drop. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Like, 10 mil. Do you, that is, when they all say, hey, if you want to make a statement, don't buy the product, don't buy it. Let's all not shop on Amazon for one day. That is the tiny version of that. 10 million people. 10 million. Do you know how difficult it is to get people to press subscribe who support you, right? Let alone get off your ass to unsubscribe. That is wild. Wild and interesting. Jay-Z reportedly leaves USA after Epstein files mention. Oh dear, that is
how strange. It's what we were talking about earlier when I said to you, I can't find him. He's not in the States. He's definitely not around, because I went looking for him and I couldn't find him.
So what I want to do is just grab any reports on what he could possibly be worried about. So every celebrity named so far in Epstein files as Jay-Z and Pusha T mentioned in latest release. Let me just ping us over here. I don't know if I only drawn the email. Only a certain number of tips. Okay, I just want. Okay. And now one anonymous victim named acclaimed rappers Jay-Z and Pusha T in the FBI crisis intake report from 2019. The victim claimed that she was given substances and essayed throughout the years, and that Pusha T was one of her alleged handlers. This must be the two of them here, right?
Yeah.
Pusha T mentioned. Wow. Also, wow. This is wild. Also in the report, she said she once woke up in a room with Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, who in 2023 was sentenced to 16 years in prison following a conviction for R and SA in 2022. It stated that she attributed the substance as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, who she described as persons who'd established friendships with the victims. The tip does not imply that these individuals were ever investigated or that they were, listen, it might not imply that they weren't ever investigated, but I think we're all at a point now where we all know why it wasn't investigated, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Quickly just cut to former president in jacuzzi with blacked out victim. Do you know what I'm saying? Cut again. It just keeps going. Do you know what I'm saying? It just keeps going, mate. And there's a reason why you would want to leave the country. There's a reason why, because those allegations, with the hundreds of others that were reported, never investigated, with the dozens and dozens and dozens that are being ignored right now.
Yeah, loads.
Every one of these victims has to be paid attention to, especially when ignoring it and turning blind eyes to situations like this. It's wild. It's completely wild. And the world is waking up, and let's hope Nicki's push for disclosure happens. But 10 million, I mean, damn, 10 million. So newly released tranche of more than 3 million pages documents. Within hours of documents released, social media platforms such as Instagram and X erupted with speculation, including claims that Beyonce lost an estimated 10 million followers as a result of her husband naming the public records. No criminal charges have been filed against Jay-Z. But listen, if you were accused and during that time there was a legal thing or your lawyers were involved, you wouldn't leave the country if it was something that was already dealt with and it was proven that, she was this or she was that or a stalker, blah, blah, blah. You would have that ready, right? So the fact that he's just legged it, and the fact that so many individuals have left the USA right after or right before the election happened is so sus, absolutely beyond sus. Ellen, Leonardo,
exactly.
George Clooney. I don't quote me, but I think Oprah, Jay-Z. The only one who's moved but not out the country is Diddy.
But it's possible, they need to go and look for him on their island, because Jay-Z and Beyonce own their own island in the same vicinity as that very special island
Oh.
that Mr. Epstein
Well,
had.
listen, this is the era of YouTubers, okay? And if they disappear and there's a thought they're on a private island, there will be YouTubers out there with jet skis getting on there. It's crazy what people have done, from YouTube.
Good.
And exposed. The FBI released files from the 30th of January 2026, including FBI hotline intake report logged in July 2019. In that document, an anonymous caller alleged she was given substances and taken to Epstein's Florida mansion, where she later woke up in the company of Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein and JAYZ. The report states she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, reflecting a raw, unverified account logged by the FBI, emphasizing that such intake reports do not constitute evidence of criminal conduct. yeah, we know that, okay? But this isn't during a time where everyone was talking about this. This is before these people were seen as evildoers. And we got to pay attention. We really have to pay attention to when these pop up in the Epstein files. Also, I just want to give the internet their props for getting so fast through 3 million documents. It's mind-blowing how quickly things are being found and brought up and everything. Sean Carter, JAYZ, Pusha T have been named in the Epstein files, with Pusha T being identified as a handler of Epstein's victim. Pusha T also attended the party and gave the substances to the victim before engaging in SA. And I'll go to the tweet and I'll bring up these Epstein file screenshots as well, so everyone's got. There we go.
Oh, there it is. FBI. Protective orders 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so there was protective orders. Okay.
So a protective order is something surely that prevents that person from making contact with you, like for your safety. We can't use this as evidence, but if the person was to come near you or intimidate you, we'll take it further. Is that what that means? Side chat, let me know. I'm not legal anything.
I'm not either, but yeah, and they've redacted a whole bunch of stuff from there. So that's mentioning who the victim is, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty graphic as it is. And I mean, let's just move on to the next page of this here.
It just goes to show how many years they were investigating that particular individual, because if you look at the dates on this is 2019, and there's other files that are before that. So he was a person of interest for quite a while.
Or not investigated and deliberately made not a person of interest, because since then, done pretty well for himself. Not going to lie. Doesn't strike me as someone who's repenting and suffering for the sins of anything. Looks like he's having a good time. All right.
But the date in this says 2007. In approximately 2007, so-and-so and so-and-so attended a party following an invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down the street. Yep.
And 2019 is when the hotline for victims was opened. Yeah, so this was in 2007 is when she said it took place. Wild. Racketeering conduct in the support of transportation. Further believed she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of the people involved of the SA. Confirmed that she was not diagnosed with any mental illness. Refused to provide any her physical address or anything like that. Wild. Like, what do you guys think in the side chat? Put a 1 in the side chat if you're at a point where when things like this pop up, you are just on the side of the victims reporting them. Like, in a situation like this, it's different if this was person sat in front of you and it was coming forward to that extent. But when it comes to things like this, where are you guys landing on this? Put a 1 if it's like, hell yeah, I'm sold on them. Put a 2 if you're not, and put a 3 if you're on the fence. Let us know, please, because I want to know where you guys sit with this.
I'm just going to mention here, that with victims, it's very, very difficult to come forward and say anything to authorities or sign affidavits and things like that. As a previous victim of 9 years of stuff, we won't say it here, 9 years worth, it was extremely difficult to go and say anything to the authorities and to go and give testimony, because you know that most people are going to say, oh, that can't all be true, it can't be this, it can't be that. Because you are the victim. Most victims don't want to speak about it. So the fact that this woman has done it, that's brave in itself.
And what you're referring to is, you know, pretty severe elite level things. And it's scary enough for someone when it's the person down the street, no elite connections, no money. You know, it's terrifying enough for people. I think the R word report rate is like 14% of them are reported, and then less than 1% lead to a conviction. I just want to say that's a ridiculous statistic, UK. We need to sort that. Disgusting. So when individuals like this come forward and they refuse to give information, remember her life was definitely on the line. Yeah,
it always is. And they do. They threaten you. They will, and they have done. And they'll continue to do that because they know that they can put the thumb screws on you and get you to stop talking. So whoever this poor person is, no wonder she didn't want to give her address or anything, nothing, because she said, no, I'm not prepared to. And I don't blame her. I personally have been in that situation, and I was not prepared to say too much because I knew if they don't take me seriously, the police, I'm just walking out of this booth that you get shoved in to go and give your testimony. If they don't take me seriously, I'm out of here, and I'll never ever mention anything again. So hopefully they took her seriously. This is an FBI document.
Oh, well, here's the thing. This is, if this was taking place in 2007, this is primo. Everybody has been fooled. They've got us all convinced that everything's good. They're riding high at this time, you know, and those are the times where people make mistakes. The moments in their lore where they have reached invincibility, are when they'll start slipping up. And that tends to happen again 20 years ago. I was at a party, this person did this, and now this person is that person. It's when they're in the rookie years, or the years where they feel invincible, that these things are going to start coming out. And I think we have to give these stories the weight that they deserve. I really do.
I agree. Absolutely. I agree. It's taken a lot of courage to come forward and say what those victims have said. It's just, I cannot tell you how hard it is to be able to say that. You know, that is extremely, extremely difficult.
Well, do you know one thing that we forgot?
What was that?
Maybe she's the second Donimo.
Maybe.
Because 50 Cent, done his Diddy documentary, and now he said he's been planning a JAYZ documentary. Good. So what if 50 Cent, because I'm not being funny, like, you better come ready for 50 Cent. You better come ready for 50 Cent. He ain't going to be messing around. Okay. Now there's Nicki Minaj, but 50 Cent ain't going to be messing around. Guy got shot like how many times? Like 14, and just sound in one sitting. I might add, Beverly Rhodes. Somebody fact check me. It was crazy. So what if 50 Cent started the dominoes on, hey guys, come forward. Nicki Minaj is taking that step. Who's next? Are we going to see a documentary from 50 Cent on JAYZ? I think so. Is this marketing for it, or could be seen as that? I think so. I think we're going to see this happen. This documentary from 50 Cent. What do you guys think of the side chat? What do you think? Let us know, and let us know if you watched the Diddy on Netflix with 50 Cent. So let me just jump back into this.
I think also, the new position for King is being gone after by 50 Cent as well. He's definitely one of the contenders for being king. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like 50 Cent is the sort of person that would sign up for the Illuminati and then blow the lid off of it. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like he honestly, I think is going to be at the center of a whole bunch of more exposing. And I'd completely forgotten about that until something popped up. Yeah, 9 times in a single incident he was shot, 50 Cent. 9 times.
9 times, God.
All in the one sitting. So,
and he survived.
Yeah, oh yeah, survived. And he went on to make millions of dollars, lose everything, and then remake all of his millions. He's
wow.
An unreal story. But back to Nicki Minaj. The mindset of the killer doll. Here we go. So Chrissy Teigen, we talked about it a little bit. These are the tweets. This is from 2011. This is Chrissy Teigen's. These are real tweets. Seeing little girls do the splits half dressed is just, I want to put myself in jail. Hashtag toddlers and tiaras. I'm going to jail over pizza. It's always weird. It's always weirds me out how strong little toddlers' tummies can look. And I'm aware how absolutely disturbing that sounds. Now, look, I'm just taking that away. But those are what we were referring to. That was out in the public. That was 2011. Okay?
Wow.
Like, it's a different world now. And listen, Anne-Marie's just said WTF in the side chat. They just keep going, Anne-Marie. They just keep going and going and going. And it's weird because when we start seeing all the interlocking stories, connections to royals and all of this, Chrissy Teigen had fallen off, and then Meghan Markle gets her to do a grilled cheese thing with her jam in it or some madness.
Oh, yes. I
remember that?
Yeah.
Dribbling
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
It's interesting because when we talk about the friends of how these groups stick together, it really felt like, let's try and get you back in the limelight. I mean, it's Meghan Markle. Who the hell would ever think she can contribute positively to your career? You are smoking some good stuff. But that's what it felt like, because why would you associate with somebody who sent those tweets out? Especially when your freaking your father-in-law's brother, pretty much the worst human being in the royal family in a long time. You would think that would be something you would want to avoid. But no. There she was. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Well, what if she's in the Epstein files as well? It's possible.
Yeah, and there's just so much more to come. Like it's not even over yet. It just keeps on going and going. What do you think is going to be the next thing that breaks side chat? I just want to read one more of these tweets from Chrissy Teigen. Brad Pitt just handed us pizza. I want pizza. Just woke up this morning with pizza on my chest and ranch dressing all over me. Like, I just wanted to let everyone know these are real. And let's just hope that we see more and more individuals coming forward with facts and stories. And I want to prepare you all for all of the disinformation that's probably going to hit the internet about Nicki Minaj, all the defaming that's going to happen, all of the she is this, she is that. Because they will try and take everything that they will have seen as giving her from her now. Guaranteed. You know, if it wasn't for 50 Cent remaking his millions, he would be tied to individuals too, I would imagine. And it's going to be an incredible space to keep an eye on for sure. Interesting name to be dropping there. Marina being mentioned. Of course, we were talking about.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, the high priestesses and individuals who are the occult side of all of this. And the reason I mentioned that is because we don't often talk about the other side. And Nicki Minaj could be one of those people. 50 Cent could be one of those people. Because enough's enough in the eyes of regular people, right? I mean, if you could do something, you would. And who knows what is keeping all of these people who come forward living. Because they have to have some heavyweight reason to be kept. What she's saying and what she's keeping back must be so much worse than what she's already telling us.
Oh, yeah. Normally it's 100 times worse. It's actually 100 times worse than what you could even think. Yeah. That's how bad it is. Really. Yeah. Trust me on that one. 9 years worth of it. Some of the things are so bad that I wouldn't even talk about them. That's how bad they are.
Yeah. And I mean, you've mentioned it twice now. I mean, you're a survivor of really elite level cabal horrors as a child, Beverly. And You know,
But when you know who my handler was Bob Hope. My American handler was Bob Hope. So, just think about who Bob Hope was around, where he was, how he was, and people that were in his orbit or in his inner circle, and then the center of the circle. Very scary. Have a look and see.
yeah.
And you'll see Bob Hope, very creepy. Very, very creepy. But he was the handler. And he had all sorts of individuals that he was handling all over the world. When they came to America, that's what he would look after. Would be, this is who you take orders from. This is the person that will decide what you're doing, where you're going, and how you're doing it. And then we'll get you back on the plane and send you back to where you came from. That's kind of, that's how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, I imagine people will want to hear more of your story, Bev. And it's a sort of refreshed audience. And we'll maybe see what you want to do, maybe delve into that one night. Because you're the real deal. And what you went through was truly just horrific. Now, I want to just play double-edged sword guy here for a second, right? So we've got a couple of comments. Trust me, she's only going to say what she can get away with. Okay. Talking about Nicki Minaj here, not you, Beverly Woods. Then y'all serious? You truly believe Nicki isn't part of it? So hey, let me go with this one first. What if Nicki was part of it, but enough's enough, Jeffers? If she's willing to die on the sword because enough's enough, right? Like she never realized that it was babies and kids. Do you know what I mean? Maybe she was just down for all of the orgy, like, sex stuff. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the reason that she's putting Chucky as the killer doll is maybe they used to refer to her as something like that. And I know that I have no reason to have any proof to think that, but that's how my brain puts these things together. So I agree. She could be. But at this stage, we need someone to break from their side if that's what it takes.
And also, I don't think, when I was having a look at, from my point of view, looking at how the inner circle works and what the inner circle is party to, I personally do not believe that Nicki is actually part of the inner circle. She's not high enough. She's not high enough earning. Plus, also, whatever it is that's around her, she doesn't have the rights to what is happening in the inner circle. I mean, the inner circle are very, very high up, and she's not in the inner circle. So whether, you'd have to have been in the inner circle to see what they were utilizing in those events, how they were doing those events. So, and she doesn't know enough about that. So I'm pretty sure if she knew, then she would be in a circle. She's not in a circle. She can only assume that is what is happening when they talk about these various incidents that are happening with children and young people.
Well, here's another way of looking at it. If we look at the possibility that she knows what took place because she, was used by these horrible men for, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's not out of the question that she wasn't part of the inner circle, but was so beautiful these men got loose-lipped with what else goes on, or pulled a curtain back and let her seen. Or I could totally see all of that happening in a world where she's fallen into this knowledge. She doesn't want to know what she knows. She wasn't necessarily part of it all. But again, it's easy to think, let's paint the nicest version of this that we can. Let's just go down the gray road for a minute, Beverly. Yeah. Because it's not out of the question to think that anyone involved with these people has had to do terrible things, but it doesn't mean that everyone's a PDF file, right? There's different layers of, they still want to blackmail you if you're not a PDF file. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're still, you know what I'm saying? If they can't get you with that, they'll just get you with the hot ladies, and but I don't know.
It's possible that they're trying to utilize, whatever footage they have of her, which is very common. But she might have got to a point where she just says, well, stuff this, mate. I'm out of here. I don't care what you do. My soul is worth more than this, because the soul is the goal. That's the goal. and she's not prepared to sacrifice her soul for that. So I think she's got to the point where she's had enough, and that's why she's coming out with some of the truth now.
Yeah. Also, doesn't help. It definitely won't have a negative effect on album sales. There's also her really reinforcing the Trump thing, and it's interesting that the midterms are this year and all these things, and it's maybe not out the question to think that there's a possibility that someone could be used to bring people to justice who've escaped justice from the Epstein files. Does that make sense? So like, we know they're guilty, so let's make them suffer. And using information to be leaked through someone like Nicki, especially with the backing of Trump, it's not out of the question too, right?
No, it's not out of the question.
Hang on 1 second. There we go. What do you guys think in the side chat? Because there's possibility for speculating all over the place with this, and I'm very much aware, and I'm part of the knowledge of the occult side of all this. And when I hear celebrities coming forward and going to the level of they are unaliving babies, they are eating babies, that's a big, massive statement, right? There's a lot of stuff you could say if you're making some stuff up way before then that would get people's attention. And there was a case, Beverly, of a model. I'm actually going to be doing a full show on this, so I'm just going to give you guys like an overview of this. I just need to get my notes, my links to my notes. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, everybody. Give me a second. Here we go. So there was a model called Gabriela Rico Jimenez. Epstein cannibalism whistleblower goes viral amid I love torture video revelation. Now, this woman vanished in 2019 after she was found outside a hotel screaming that she was human transported and that they were eating humans. Then she vanished off the face of the earth. In August 2009, 21-year-old Gabriela caused a scene outside the Fiesta Inn Hotel in Monterrey, Mexico, after attending what was described as an elite private modeling event. In video footage from that night, Jimenez can be heard shouting, "They ate a person. I was unaware. I wanted freedom."
Wow.
I mean, wild footage, and then gone, vanishes. Now, like I said, I'm going to do a full video on this because people are thinking that the torture video they're talking about here was the unaliving of this girl.
Wow.
And it gets so freaking dark and deep because 2009, right? That would be 2 years after what the survivor said about JAYZ. There's so much going on here. There really, really is. And it's so important that the things that just need a quick touch on, right? Which is why I'm doing videos that are maybe 10 minutes long on Shaun's channel now, covering things like the George Clooney pages and the Brad Pitt things that are great to have as references, but don't need whole shows. But these are the things that really need paid attention to. And it's going to be mad to see what comes next. It really, really is. But if you guys have got any questions, get your questions in the side chat. If you like the cut of Beverly's jib, you'll be able to get her link for her channel down in the description. We've got about 10 more minutes, and I just want to make sure you guys get a chance to ask questions or put your points across, because I love the discussion factor on this. And if you guys like these evening shows going into the Epstein files, I'll happily extend them by a little bit when I can for you guys to have a call-in section where you can come and just unload your, traumas that you're getting from this onto us all, and we can really do this as a community.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, one thing that all survivors and all those that are victims need is they need individuals that will listen to them.
Yep.
Because if you shut down a survivor or shut down a victim and you don't listen to them and you just, pass it off as a nothing, that will shut down that survivor for life. They won't talk. They will not talk again.
Yeah.
So try to allow your own courage and allow yourself to listen. Even if you just listen and you do nothing else, just give the support to listen so that the survivor can talk and speak their truth. Because then at least some of that burden is released from the victims.
Yeah. Okay. So I love it when I get a little bit of friendly calling out here. Off topic, but Ron, you really called me out for saying I believe Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. It looks like there is proof coming forward. Disgusting, sick, so-called elites, many people. I'll tell you now, Doreen, if it comes out that Jeffrey Epstein is alive, I will make a big deal of eating my hat for you. Okay, I promise. I promise. Okay, but I'll treat it like the Israelis are treating the mermaid. I need video footage that can be completely clarified in order to release the $1 million. So same rules apply. But yeah, that would be wild. Wild for a wild twist in the tail for sure. Yeah. Okay, Chucky, it's because child's play, playing with kids. I think it's deeper than that. I think she's telling us something about the doll, and now the doll is coming for blood. And I think there's going to be a sad reference to why that doll is being referenced. I really do. Or not that at all, and this is all being paid for by the whatever political side. That could be that too. Who knows? But I'm on the side of Nicki on this. I really, really am. 100%. 100%.
We had the big new moon yesterday. So we had the snow moon, and then we had the big new moon, and it's the beginning of the new cycle. So we've got the fire horse now in this month. This is what's happening, and it was at the close of January. It was the close of the snake, the year of the snake. So all of that is playing into what's happening now.
And I tell you what, if you're willing to pay attention to all the evil occult stuff that you think is real, you can damn well listen to all the other side of the coin stuff that is fighting against it. And it's so important that you believe that we believe this, even if you don't believe it. It's very important. Okay. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein is alive? I'm going to ask the side chat. Number 1, he's no longer alive. 2, he is alive. No, you got to answer yes or no. So number 1, if you think he is. Number 2, number 1, if you think he's unalived. Number 2, if you think he is alive, to the side chat. Where do you guys sit? Because I think he's gone. Okay. I think he is gone, unless I've grossly underestimated how the cabal works their exit strategy. Okay. Like, is the biggest reward the unaliving that leads you to the beyond the ice wall? That sort of crazy conspiracy. Or is it more mega face surgery and off you are back into the world unrecognizable? Who knows? I could lean into it all. But from a criminal pyramid that has mainly money and power in its mindset, unaliving him is good for business.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it's kind of down the middle.
What's everybody saying?
I think it looks like it's split down the middle, honestly. The twos have it. James is saying the twos have it. Interesting. I think I'm going to say if the twos have it, it was a narrow win. I'm going to be honest. It looks like it's 50-50. Now, Beverly has a lot more that she can bring to these sort of topics, as some of you know. And, if you guys want to see more sort of interpretations of the grander scale of the cabal and energy and why these idols, why it's so important when people lose 10 million subscribers, that's 10 million souls not projecting that energy to that idol anymore. When we imagine that movie scene where someone goes into a church and they kneel down in front of the cross and they light a candle, that's where your brain goes to when you're thinking of worship, right? In a very commercial way. That's no different than sitting in front of a screen on Beyonce's Instagram, idolizing and projecting that energy. It's a different form of worship. And there's a reason why the 1% have pretty much everything, because they know something we don't. Okay.
Oh
So
yeah,
keep your
don't let
minds
the
open. Keep your minds open on this. And you don't have to believe it. And we're not going to let it dominate what we're talking about. But believe that we believe it, because that is help. That helps. It really, really does. And like I said, we've got about 5 minutes left. So Bev, what's next for you? Give us a little bit of chat whilst we wait for any more comments.
What's next for me is I've been doing a lot of work today on looking at the energies around certain people. So I'm obviously looking at Epstein. He's quite an easy one to do. So I'm busy putting those together. And I'm looking at some of the other individuals that are quoted and mentioned in the Epstein files. So I'm going to be doing some energy work on them to see what are they up to. And if I can, I might just go and do a bit of a remote view, go pop in and have a look and see what are they up to now. And what is the difference between now and then? Because there is a big difference.
Oh, yeah. And we're all for it. And it's great to see you again, Bev. And for all of those who are new, thank you so much for coming and tuning in. I'm going to be covering this. I'm going to basically be the last stream on the Shaun Attwood channel most nights whilst these files are being released. There's guests that are coming on to discuss it. There's experts. But this is going to be where we kind of end the day on Shaun's channel. And I'm looking forward to you guys being there, and thank you for the support tonight. It's been absolutely outstanding. Make sure you are liking and sharing. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you say something nice about Beverly and me when this uploads as a video down in the comment section. And there's a lot more discussions about reaction to the Epstein files that I think we need to open up to the side chat and all of our YouTube friends, because it is quite simply the first possibility where we witness the erosion of society and the systems as we know it. If everyone was brought to justice, it would be like a chunk of a mountain falling off, metaphorically. And it's where do we replace it, and how do we rebuild after it? I know we are ready in this world. All of us are ready to watch Hollywood collapse or a political system collapse, because we know the greater good that comes from it. It's not the political party. It's the puppet masters pulling the strings. It's those children that go missing. It's people like Nicki Minaj that speak of the cannibalism. It's things that one day were conspiracy and less than a decade later are fact. You're watching history repeat, but for the first time, people are standing up and saying, no more. And that's what we're here to do. And all of you that feel like there's a change in the world, and feel this difference that's coming from when disclosure like this happens, acknowledge it, be part of it, and push it, because the more of us that push against them, the harder it is for them to win. And you can think, hey, that's some tree hugger nonsense. Okay, we believe it, and then tune in, because the mission goal requires us all. We can argue about our own crap after evil's eradicated, okay? I promise you can all go back to slapping the crap out of each other and splitting hairs and all of that once we blow the lid off all of this, because it's going to take all of us. And all those people like, oh, Ron's too chatty. You as well, okay? You as well. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a good night. Beverly. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure. Nice to see you again. And nice to see everyone in the chat. I'm pleased that it's doing so well. Yeah, just watch this space. There's going to be huge revelations, most definitely. Yeah, up until I reckon around about the 18th or 19th of February, there's stuff around those dates, because those are key dates. I mean, they are part of the key dates of these types of individuals. So watch this space.
I agree.
That are going to be either arrested, or there's going to be facts that come out, or photographs. And there's going to be the wrong photograph in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. And somebody will be in that photograph, and that will be like the little pin that drops. It's like, oh my God, this is what's happening. Yeah. And that's what it'll be. And then it'll be just like an avalanche.
It will. 100%. Right. Listen, absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Bev. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the side chat. Thank you to Shaun Attwood channel. We'll be back with Bev as often as possible on these shows. So expect to see more of her. Her link is in the description. And, yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And remember, this is the moment. We would never, this level of coming forward from Nicki is it's unprecedented. One tweet, maybe. One expose thing, maybe. One statement, maybe. But this, wild. So watch this space, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Lovely.
Like
Have
and
a nice
subscribe.
evening.
Take care, guys. Peace.
Thank you.